From this video, we will start with pandas for our data analysis process. It will take around 3 to 4 videos to finish with data analysis part. This video will explain you about Pandas series and data frames. So series is a one-dimensional labeled array capable of holding data of any type. And these access labels are collectively called index. And the major difference between numpy array and Pandas series is that we can give our own index label to the data points. Then we have data frames. It is two-dimensional data structure which looks like an Excel spreadsheet with the labeled rows and columns. We will discuss all the necessary things we need to learn about series and data frames in this video. So watch till the end. Series is the first main data type we are going to work with, and then we will use series to work with the data frames. So to work with Pandas series, we will import our libraries, which is numpy as np and pandas as pd. And as we have already discussed that Pandas series is similar to numpy array, but it has a label. So first we will create a list of label, then we will create a list of data points, and then we will create a dictionary. You might think why I am creating this dictionary, but you will get to know the reason in just a minute. Now to build a Pandas series, we will use series method. This series method takes couple of arguments, and all the arguments are optional by default. It means that you can also create an empty list, but we are going to pass data list for data argument, and we want our label to be the index of that series. You can see the result. Our data list got printed with their unique labels, and if you pass a dictionary in series method, then it will take key as the index and the value as the data point. And if you only pass the data list in series method and do not provide any index or label, then by default it will start the indexing from 0. Now let's discuss how to use this index, because key to use series is nothing but the index. To understand the indexing, we will create a series with our data list and label. Our series is ready to use. To grab a particular data point, we will call our series variable and then use the index label inside the square bracket. And notice that here we used index label as character because in this case our index label are characters. But if our index label are in integer form, then you just have to use that integer value. To show you an example, we will create another series, but without giving it any label. Our series is ready to use. Now we will try to grab the value at index 1. So it all depends on the data type of your index label. We can also perform addition operation on Pandas series. To show you an example, I will create two series which will contain some fruit name as data points and some integer and index level. Now we are ready with our two series, and keep in mind that in both the series we have given the same index level. Now we will add series 1 and series 2. In this case our data are of string type, so it has been concatenated. And one important thing you should note about Pandas series is that when we add two series together, the addition operation is performed only when the index level matches for both the series. I will give one example to show what I mean. For that I will copy the series 2 and then we will modify one of its index label. And now try to add series 1 and series 2 together. You can see the result that index label 0 and 1 for both the series does not match with each other. That is why for index 0 and 1 we got none output. But rest of the index matches, so it has concatenated those string data. Now we will discuss about data frames. Just for example, we will create a data frame with 4 rows and 4 columns. And as I told you before, that data frame has index labels and column name both. So first we will create a list of our column names. Then we will create a list of index labels. And then as a data we will create a numpy array of 16 random numbers between 10 to 90, and then we will reshape this array to have 4 rows and 4 columns. And finally, to create a data frame, we use DataFrame method. This DataFrame method takes few arguments, but the most important argument is our data, index and column name. So we will pass our data as first argument, index label as second argument and column name as third argument. Now we are ready with our data frame. So basically what you are looking at is just a list of columns and corresponding rows. And each column here is nothing but a Pandas series which shares a common index. To verify what I said, we will use indexing and selection technique to grab a column. To grab a column, we will call our data frame df, and inside the square bracket pass the name of that column you want to look at. And there you got the output as Pandas series. To confirm that it is a series, use type function. But if you check the type of our data frame itself, then it will return that it is a data frame object. Now we know how to grab a single column from our data frame. But what if we want to look at multiple columns at once? For that we can pass the list of column we want to look at. Now let's discuss how we can create new column in our data frame. To create a new column, just pass the name of the column you want to create and then assign the list of values you want to store in that column. Now if you check the data frame, you will get the new column holding the data we assigned to it. We can also create a new column by doing some operation on existing column. For example, let's create a new column with the name sum of AB, and we want this column to store the addition of column A and B. Now you can see our new column with the name sum of AB holding the added value of column A and B. Now we will learn how to remove a column from our data frame. To remove a column, DataFrame object has a drop method. This drop method takes label as first argument and by default access is equal to 0, which refers to the row index. But here we want to drop a column, so we have to set access equals to 1. You can see that E column has been dropped, but if you check the data frame itself, then you will see that E column still exists in our data frame. This is because inside our drop method, by default in place argument is set to false. This means that drop method is not going to affect our original data frame. But if you want this change to take place with the original data frame itself, then you have to set in place equals to true. Now if you check the data frame, it will show you the expected result. Now let's discuss how to grab a row from our data frame. To grab a particular row, we use LOC method. And then inside the square bracket, we pass the index label of the row we want to look at. You can see that it has returned a series. It means that not only the column are series, but row are also a series, where the index labels of series is the column name of the data frame. And if you want to grab the row based on the index number, then you can use ILOC method. This ILOC method takes the index number of a row you want to look at. So if you want to look at the very first column, then you have to pass index as 0, because indexing starts from 0. But if you want to look at a particular value of data frame, then just use LOC method and pass the row index label and column name inside the square bracket. And if you want to look at the value of multiple rows and columns together, then you just have to pass the list of rows and list of columns inside the square bracket. We will stop our discussion here and will continue in the next video of this series, and will learn more about data frames for data analysis. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, then do subscribe it and hit the bell icon. And if my videos are upgrading your knowledge, then don't forget to like it.